Over the last century, the British pound has gone from the world's most powerful currency to a shadow of its former self. Today, we will explore how and why the pound lost over 99% of its value, and what this century-long collapse can teach us about money, power, and the global economy. In the early 1900s, the British pound was the global reserve currency, much like the US dollar is today, backed by gold and supported by the vast British Empire. £1 sterling was a symbol of stability and power. In 1914, just before World War I, £1 could buy what would cost over £120 today. World War I changed everything. To finance the war, Britain abandoned the gold standard and printed massive amounts of money. The pound lost value as inflation soared. After the war, the government attempted to return to the gold standard in 1925, led by Winston Churchill, but at an overvalued exchange rate. This made British export expensive and led to economic hardship. The Great Depression hit Britain hard. By 1931, it became impossible to maintain the pound's value. The government was forced to abandon the gold standard again, causing a sharp devaluation. This marks the end of the pound's unquestioned dominance in global finance. World War II further weakened the British economy. Britain borrowed heavily from the United States, leading to the Lend-Lease agreements and eventually massive debts. By the end of the war, the United States have overtaken Britain as world's financial superpower. At the Bretton Woods Conference in 1944, the US dollar officially became the world's primary reserve currency, pushing the pound into the second place. After the war, Britain faced weakened industrial base and massive debts. In 1949, the pound was devalued by 30% overnight, shocking the world. Through the 1950s and 60s, Britain experienced recurring balance of payment crises, leading to another major devaluation in 1967. The 1970s brought oil shocks, high inflation, and labor strikes, a period known as the stagflation. In 1976, Britain was in such financial trouble that it requested a bailout from the International Monetary Fund, a humiliation for what was once the world's richest empire. By the end of the decade, the pound had lost most of its pre-war value. The 1980s and 90s saw some recovery under the Margaret Thatcher economic reforms and the rise of London as financial hub. However, events like Black Wednesday in 1992, when Britain crashed out of the European exchange rate mechanism, showed how vulnerable the pound remained. More recently, Brexit in 2016 triggered another sharp drop in the pound's value, highlighting ongoing uncertainty about Britain's economic future. Over the past century, the pound has fallen from global supremacy to just another national currency. This story isn't just about Britain, it's about how empire rise and fall, and how the value of money, reflects the power of nation.